I guess it's annoying psychic. So Amazon, I'm here to give you guys a movie review, which is called Inside Out from Pixar Disney. This movie came out somewhere 2013 or 2014. I have to look over again, and just give you guys my personal thoughts based on this movie of Inside Out. Inside Out is happened to be one of the most films that I've seen in such a really long time when it comes to feelings and emotion reactions and stuff like that. I think this film is a masterpiece. I think it really actually is. And just see how emotional and stuff like that, like how you get when you're angry, when you're mad or you're frustrated, you got anxiety and stuff like that, and you're laughing, you're happy and stuff like that. And I kind of like these characters basically in this movie. It kind of like evolve into other different feelings and stuff like that. Because like when we are born as a baby, we may not remember like when we came up with mother's womb, we may not be able to remember any of that because I think I've heard rumors that people say like when you're getting birthed into the world and stuff like that, you probably won't be able to remember really a lot of things because everything's so fade and so suddenly and stuff like that. Because having a baby it's something very special to really just to have and stuff like that. And it just really actually is. And you see these different stages as they grow up and they develop these feelings. They develop these feelings that what we have and stuff like that. And sometimes there are feelings that we may not even understand, and sometimes there's feelings that we may not be able to know when it comes to when it basically comes to a film like this. I think Disney really hit it on the nail for good based off this movie also well too. And I think Pixar did a fantastic job. In my own general opinion, I think this movie is far more better than some of the top Pixar movies basically I've ever seen when it comes to based off these Disney and Pixar movies and stuff like that. I have to say this movie is just absolutely just good. It's beautiful. It shows it's I'm not saying it shows the reactions based off the different of the characters, but even when you learn from these different based off these kind of characters, because like when you grow up you start having more emotions and stuff like that, like when it comes like how to love, what's your first kiss, what's your first hug, or say hi to your grandma, or how much you love them and stuff like that. Because even you like I said before, you're just growing. That's all you basically are. The more that you grow and the more that you get these emotions and stuff like that. I kind of want to say I like Joy really a lot. She's pretty much represents the happiness and stuff like that because she's a very happy kind of person. That's basically she really actually is. I'm talking about in the brain. I'm not talking about the girl of herself basically in this movie. But what I'm trying to say here is that her job basically in the brain is supposed to make her happy. That's what the emotions are supposed to do. Now, if we do get frustrated and stuff like that, and then you have angry, which is like this little short kind of guy. He gets very angry and stuff like that. I'm not saying I hate anger or anything like that, but I think anger just does things that can get out of control basically at times because it's a emotion that we do have. The emotions that we do have. What if we did not have an emotion if we did not care? That happens. That happens time from time. Some people will probably say, "I don't care about what happened here. I don't care about what happened there. I don't care about what happened to you, or anything like that." Sometimes that can be kind of like a hateful kind of different kind of topic, and people would probably basically get upset. And then you also have the other one, which is basically worry. Now, worry is basically it's kind of like the form of anxiety, but it's not really basically on the form between worry and anxiety and stuff like that. I have not seen a second film. That's what I need to look. I need to watch those as well too. But one thing I want to say is that worry tends to happen to stuff like that because we're all anxious trying to get someone and just trying to get something somewhere and stuff like that. Oh, I really want to do that also well too. I kind of like the other emotion which is called anxious that we get really anxious. We get impatient. I really wish they would basically show anxious on there also well too, one of the emotions, and also impatience and learning patience also well too, because it all tags along with worry also well too. Because if we get really anxious for something that we're getting pretty hyped that we really do want it, but sometimes the worth is the wait. It really actually is. Being anxious and and not being so patient it's a common thing that it happens and stuff like that because it really falls in place. It falls in place. Like, what do you really want? Why do you need this or anything like that? Why do you need this anything like that? Like that. I would personally would say also as well too. That, and I think this is something that this is something that I think a lot of people needs to understand needs to understand when it comes to based on these personal based on these feelings. I really want to say is that it's not just because that we don't care, that we don't love, or anything like that. And when we spend most of our time just being negative and stuff like that. And when it comes to sadness, sadness is basically I'm not saying she gets on my nerves at times or anything like that, but she can't. But she does get kind of sad and stuff like that. More like when she does things and stuff like that. You see happy just interfering with sadness because usually happy and sadness pretty much are. I wouldn't say they both do get along with each other, but they have their own different spaces and spaces like how do we feel and stuff like that, and basically stuff like that. And you know, just to see for this movie is just to see for this is that I mean, like I said before, we all go through those stages that we're happy, that we're sad, or just depressed, or anything like that. And sometimes we can't control those emotions if we choose to control those emotions. And like I said before, we're going through our stages in our lives that we develop these different emotions that we what we have and stuff like that. Some people would say, "Hey, I don't understand what these emotions really actually are. How how did I did not expect that these emotions to basically happen in the first place?" Because if you were to say, if you let me just put it this way, okay, let's say that you're a really rich guy, okay, let's say you have or a really rich girl, or whatever it is that you are, okay, and you're powerful, you're rich, you have everything that you wanted and stuff like that, and you have no worries or anything like that. You're in control of a company that you really do like, that you're CEO person and stuff like that, and basically, if you think you're really on top of the mountain, guess what? You really are not. You're gonna fall off that mountain. You're not gonna be able to get to the top of it. If you think that you're more inferior than what you may believe because you have money, you have power, and I bet you, the more time you basically gain in those things, the more time you basically not be able to interact to other different feelings means that they really don't care because they really have the money because basically they really do want. I want to say money is not all about the process based of our emotions, but money can make us happy. But I would say that money can lead to a good thing or it can lead to an evil thing and stuff like that. Because money is very powerful and it really actually is. But the point I'm trying to make here is basically that since you choose that timeline, that what you want, you have your own company, you're making millions of dollars or stuff like that, and you don't care about anything other than but just yourself. But when you have, but what happens to the other self? What happens to your other side to yourself? You probably say, you know, I'm going to use this money and I'm going to use this money to help people out. Some people rely on some people to help them out when it comes to fundraisers and stuff like that. The point I'm trying to make here is that it's either that you care for your money that makes you happy, or either that you probably will say, hey, I don't care about money. All I care about is basically like helping people out. And the reason I'm saying that because those are the tens that what we really do have and stuff like that. I still believe that this movie is based it's a masterpiece. To me, I think it really actually is, and I think it does a really great job when it comes to these emotions that what we really what we really do have. But you want to understand also well too is that when it comes to when it comes to like when you're texting somebody like on the phone, you see these emojis. Means these emojis like kind of addresses like who you really are, and with those emojis that you have right there, you probably just wanted to express like how you feel or anything like that, you know, whatever it maybe is, and stuff like that. Sometimes your friends or your family will probably call you and say, hey son, are you okay? Hey, what's wrong? You know, I mean that's what basically what it feels to me. Like I said, I still think this movie is a masterpiece. I really do think it really is. It's a 10 out of 10. I love this. I love this film. Some people will probably will think that this film is not really all that great. I think it really actually is. It just shows a broader perspective from what I've seen from other different movie spaces like this. And I think this is probably my top five favorite because I really actually love this movie because I'm happy, I'm glad that Disney made this movie because not just for other different purposes or anything like that, but just show the broader different sides of ourselves that we have these emotions. If we did not have these emotions or anything like that, that was then that way we would not be able to understand what those emotions really actually even are. You know that's what it feels to me, and that's what it feels to me. But you know that's what I'm saying. So yeah, yeah, it was like I said, it's a masterpiece. In my opinion, that's what I think. It's a 10 out of 10 film. I love Disney. I love this movie. It's just really actually just very good. So so yeah, it was the Undermix. It was. I'll see you guys later. Take care. I hope you have a wonderful day. Don't forget to subscribe. Please consider subscribing. Please hit the like button. Give me a thumbs up or give me a thumbs down. And please leave me comments below. Anyways, I love you guys. Take care. I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care. God bless. Remember to slowly. I love you guys. Please safe. And remember, stay blessed. Love you guys. Take care. Bye.